on the island, do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice. Beef stew on the stove and loamy salmon with the eye. Eating, drinking, we sing all day. Kanikapila in the old Hawaiian way, on the island, do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the weekend, we go to Grandma's green yard. We no go, Grandma got to work hard. You know my grandma, she like the boy real sound. I love my grandma every minute, every hour, on the island. Do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. Thank you so much. Well, I'm super grateful to be playing music for y'all today here at New Thought. It's my second time here, and really grateful that my friend here, Kaimana, is going to be sharing some stories and walking us through his journey. So, yeah, let's get started here and welcome Kaimana.
Thank you so much. Welcome this morning to New Thought Center. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and as we always start, we hear a reading from our magazine, and I would appreciate it if Pasha could do that for us.
Okay, so this is the reading for September 4th. So a lot of other people in other parts of the world are also focusing on these uplifting words at this time. It's kind of a nice thought that we're unifying our consciousness with them, even though we don't know their names or exactly where they are. So it begins with two quotations. The first one is from Sojourner Truth, and it says, "Truth is powerful, and it prevails." The second quote is from Ernest Holmes, the founder of the religious science movement and the first editor of this magazine, way back in, I think, 1927 or something. Okay. Have you recognized, excuse me. His quote says, "The search is not external. Okay, and the little essay is from a New Thought teacher named Jafan Seeley. Have you recognized the power contained in a few positive words? Words of affirmation can help an individual redirect their self-talk and self-image into a more inspiring state. These positive words don't require us to transform ourselves. Instead, they allow us to see the light dwelling in all people. Perhaps the reason we find it so challenging at times to see the greatness within all is that it is predicated on our ability to see the divine within ourselves. After all, how can we expect to see within another person what we have failed to recognize within ourselves? This leads to the question, if I am unwilling to see the greatness dwelling at the depths of another human, whom I have the privilege of sharing this experience with, what part of me is preventing me from recognizing the oneness that permeates all things? When I answer this question, I find there are many internal thoughts, ideas, memories, and opinions about myself that seem to hinder my ability to recognize this ever-present essence within. What is humbling to admit is that while these internal thoughts are not seen by the outside world, they influence how we show up in the world. Hence, if I am at conflict within myself, I bring this mini war waging within into every interaction I have, which leads back to the idea that if I seek to see oneness in the world and greatness within others, I must be willing to recognize the oneness within me and my own inherent greatness. Try this one today. And the affirmation is just 2 sentences. I'll read both of them and then read them separately so you can repeat them. I honor my connection with the divine. This connection connects me to all. Okay, now your turn. I honor my connection with the divine. I honor my connection with the divine. This connection connects me to all. This connection connects me to all. Thank you.
You, Pasha, and my name's Margie. I didn't introduce myself. The reading was from Science of Mind magazine, and we have plenty if anyone would like to have a few to read and just come back with them. Now let's spend some silent time. I'll get us started with the chimes, and then once we have done our individual meditation, I'll use the chimes again. And since we've already enjoyed Jeff Tree, let us hear him again if we can.
Thank you so much. So I'm in slack key here. This is the Hawaiian style tuning. And I got another song here. This one's by Dennis Kamakahi. Pua kalahunu makekai Ohonu Levi. Wahine ilikea ikapoli o molokai no kaheke. Nane vale no navaile le uka ohina oha omo'oloa navai e kolu I kaulu vehi vehi o kamalo I kamali e Bua kalahunu makikai Ohonu Levi Wahine ilikea ikapoli o molokai no kaheke Hey
Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
we applaud with the sign language of with our hands above us rather than breaking into a clapping. So we appreciate it. Thank you. I want to welcome everybody to New Thought Center of Hawaii. And our mission is to provide a sanctuary of aloha for the nourishment, development, and evolution of each individual's unique spiritual path. We evolved from the Kona Community Church of Religious Science, which was founded in 1971, and we've held services here since 1999. So we've had a little bit of difficulty with the COVID pandemic, and with that, we kind of evolved into something new. We are now recording our services and transmitting them out. So anyone that wants to see the service can go on YouTube on our website. So the pandemic did something positive for us. We do have a connection to the wider world by being affiliated with the International New Thought Alliance, which is an umbrella organization that brings together groups and individuals who share certain common beliefs and attitudes. A new thought embodied in consciousness produces a new condition. So this includes many unity churches and centers for spiritual living. I'd like to welcome everyone here. Is anyone here for the first time? And if you wouldn't mind giving your name and where you are residing, I'll repeat it because we're recording.
My name is Miko. I'm Kai's brother. I live in Keoho, Kona.
This is Miko and Kai's brother, and you live in Keoho. I got it. Anyone else? Hi.
I'm Laura. I don't know precisely the region where I even live yet.
Okay. Hi, Laura. And you're from around this area? Northern California. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to have you here. I think that is all of our new ones. And we get to have another song, if Jeff could do that.
Kehi hola kahua hale hale na lehua holuna hey hey Kehi hola kahua hale hale na lehua oh Luna, hey, hey, helele ipua ikekai, ulale ana lehua ikamoana, hey, hey, helele ipua ikekai, ulale ana lehua ikamoana, hey, hey, hey kupala kaua ikekai, ulale ana lehua ikamoana, hey, hey, hey kupala kaua ikekai, ke hoi hoi e aloha mai, hey, hey, e me leno e kulane, ka vaele hua ala ka honua, hey, hey, e me leno e kulane, ka vaele hua ala ka honua, ka vaele hua ala ka honua, hey, 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 hey.
Thank you.
Mahalo, thank you.
I'm going to put the microphone up here for others to come up. We now have miracles and ordinaries that we share, as we each have wonderful things that go on in our life. So I'm going to expect a lot of people coming up.
Aloha, everyone. This is very short, Miracle and Ordinaries, though we have them all the time. But as I was driving up today, I thought how great this is that Kai is speaking today. And I thought, this is so, we're so blessed. And as I looked up, I saw a hawk fly right over. Okay, we're lined up. Mahalo.
We have time for more. And so it is nice to have more than one person mention something. So I'll go ahead. since you relegated me to do that. I want to tell Kai, thank you for this morning. I don't do this well. I get really nervous. I'm dyslexic and I have difficulty pronouncing words. And so I provided a lot of laughter to other people because I guess it's funny when you hear somebody that doesn't know how to say words. And so I was mentioning that this morning to him, and he said, "No, no, no. You look at it with joy." And so it was like he switched things for me because I really dread this. And yesterday I was thinking, I'm not going to do this anymore. That's it. That's it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm just, nope. And here I am. I came in. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. But now I can look at it with that different appreciation by turning that and looking at it with joy instead of dread. That makes a little bit of difference. So thank you. I appreciate it. So you've already helped one person this morning. Anyone else? Then I get to introduce Kaimana Lighthawk. So that's the reference for the hawk. Kaimana was raised between Boiling Pots and Rainbow Falls in Hilo, and now he lives on the ocean on Ali Drive between two main surf points in Kona. He shares weekly outdoor yoga and Ho'oponopono ceremonies. Isn't that good? I got it. With people. He is an ordained psychic minister, a founding member of the Hilo Lightworks Center, a Reiki master, and a massage therapist. He's been drawn to the study of healing and spirituality from a young age. He took pre-med courses at the University of Puget Sound and did postgraduate work at Fuller Theological Seminary. As a computer professional, Kaimana set up systems for the Suisun and Mauna Loa macadamia nut companies before he traveled the country as a training manager for several corporations. After his father passed about 10 years ago in 2012, he reevaluated his life and returned to Hawaii to be closer to family and the ana he loves so. His topic today is Island Insights on the Spiritual Path.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'd like to start this morning, this part of the ceremony with prayer. That's the way that I've been taught. The Hawaiians like to do everything, start and end with prayer. A recognition that spirit always all around, so we acknowledge their presence. Somebody once asked who I pray to, and I guess that's a valid question. Went to seminary, studied lots, and as far as I know, maybe lots of, my answer is whoever's listening. But more importantly and precisely, Hawaiians have a word called amakua. Yeah. Now it's spelled A-U-M. Yeah, like Aum from India. And I believe from like how we see with the Hawaiians, that the Hawaiians originally from India. Yeah, they brought with them coconuts, turmeric, and a lot of different cultural similarities to southern India. Yeah, originally the Hawaiians from the stars, they say. Yeah, about 26,000 years ago, they came from the stars. But I think through India to Polynesia and Hawaii and so forth. Yeah. But Ao is time. Yeah, we see that in La'ao. La is the sun. Yeah, and La'ao is a plant. So like the sun captured in time is a plant. Yeah, La'ao. Makua is the Hawaiian word for parent. And we have the dear teacher Makua, yeah, who we all cherish here. But he was like the parent of Hawaii, the big kahuna, we'd say, yeah. But Makua is parent, yeah. Akua is the Hawaiian word for God. I always say God is a very Western concept, yeah. But you can see how your parents are sort of God over you for a period of time, yeah. And Akua is an interesting word because it's Akua. Yeah, and there's three main archetype gods in Hawaii, four if we count Kanaloa. Kane, the god of the spirit world, yeah, the firstborn of the man and spirit, yeah, the ruler over the spirit world, Kane. Lono, the archetype of the mind. Yeah, Lono was a great teacher that came to Hawaii. He lived here in Kealikekua, they say. A tall white being that came from the Pleiadian star system, the Hawaiians say. Yeah, many indigenous people believe visited by beings from the stars. Yeah. And then Ku, the god of the physical world. Yeah. I'll just mention also where the Kukui nut lay. So Ku, the god of the physical world, and we call Kukui. Yeah. I in Hawaiian, it means supreme. We'll talk about like Hawaii, supreme. Yeah. Ali'i, the supreme. When we have the I, we pronounce E means supreme. So Kukui is like in the physical world, the most supreme thing is light. Yeah. Kukui is a word for light in Hawaiian. That's why people traditionally would wear the kukui natle, a bringer of light. Yeah. Um, so those three archetype gods, you see many ocean cultures. They have like Poseidon and Zeus always together, the sky and the ocean always together. So Kani and Kanaloa, we say always together. Yeah. So those would be like the male archetype masculine gods of Hawaii. But all Daddy Bray, one of the big kahunas of the Kona area, said thousands of Amakua, really. All the spirit world, we'd say, is Amakua. Yeah, hierarchy of spirit up. We'd say, I find Hawaiian spirituality closest thing we know in the West, like Catholicism. You live a good life, you become a saint. We can pray to the saints, Mary, Joseph, Jesus, the angels, the Creator. All we would say Amakua, our connection to the spirit world. Hawaiians say directly, our own connection to the spirit world is through our ancestors, our parents who have gone on before, our great grandparents, and so forth. So we start with prayer. Aloha, Amakua. Aloha, ancestors. Aloha, angels, beings of light, teachers, guides, protectors. Mahalo. Aloha, Aina. The spirits of this place. Mahalo for your presence and your caretaking. Aloha, Great Spirit. Mother, Father, child is one. Creator God, we give you thanks for creation. We ask your blessings upon our lives. We ask you your blessings upon our time together now. And we ask that all that we do be a blessing to all of you. And so it is. Amama, we say in Hawaii. Amama. That means so be it is. Amama. Yeah. So I'd like to start with just a couple of different stories about why it is a white guy, Hauli, I would say, is sharing Hawaiian spiritual practice with you. Just two quick stories. The first one, I'll just kind of refer to this bowl here. When I was working at the Mauna Loa Macadamia, I got an opportunity to connect with Papa Henry. One of my friends was studying with him, and I got to study with him a little bit. But one of the people I was working with was in the Brown family. And at that time, while I was working with Papa Henry, he said he had a dream about me and that I was doing ceremony on top of the big platform, the pyramids at Ka'u down south. He said he saw me doing ceremony and he was told to give me this bowl, this kava bowl, yeah. And I'll talk a little bit more about now how my medicine has to do with the bowl. But it's very, very special bowl given by a Hawaiian family, yeah. The other story I'd like to share is a little bit more. At one point, when I came back and I helped to open the Lightworker Center in Hilo, I was up at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. I became a psychic. I came back. I actually brought my teacher back, and she opened the Psychic Center here and so forth. But while I was teaching at the Lightworker Center, I became aware that in the astrological wheel, yeah, so astrology is like the science of studying the movement of the planets. You'll see if you have an astrological chart, it's like a circle. And in the astrological wheel was going to be the six-pointed star. Yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with the six-pointed star. I'll just kind of bring it up so people watching can see. That six-pointed star is very important sacred geometry. That was going to be in the astrological wheel on January 23rd. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now, this sacred geometry is really important. It's two triangles. They say feminine, masculine. There's three chakra above the heart, three chakra below the heart. We often know it as the Star of Israel. We could talk about why that is. But before that, it was actually the symbol for the heart chakra. Yeah, it's the symbol for the heart. Yeah. These angles here are actually 19.5, and 19.5 ends up being a very important geological geometry also, yeah, on planets. For example, the eye of Jupiter is at a 19.5 longitude point. The largest volcano on Mars is at a 19.5 longitude point, yeah. The reason I mentioned two here is Mauna Loa, this mountain we're on the side of, is at 19.5 longitude. You look on the planet, yeah. I've been told that if you go through the planet at 19.5, it goes over the pyramids and Stonehenge. And how they did that is a whole different conversation, yeah? But this sacred geometry was going to be in the astrological wheel on January 23rd on a Jewish holiday known as Tu B'Shvat. Earth Day for the people of Israel. The Star of Israel was going to be in the astrological wheel, the heart chakra for the planet. I felt this was an important time to do ceremony. When I went into meditation about where to do ceremony, I felt guided to do it at Moku Ola. You're over in Hilo. I was living in Hilo at the time. So we have a free magazine. Yeah, we call it Ke Ola. In Hawaiian, Ke is feminine, the Ka is masculine. So you see a lot of words start with Ka or Ke. And Ola is life. Yeah, we have a free magazine, The Life. Moku is island. Moku Ola then is the island of life. It's one of the most sacred places. Like it was a Pu'uhonua location. You know, we have Pu'uhonua o Honau now down the street. Yeah, that's the one at Honau now. All around the island, there were these pu'uhonuas, and we could talk about what pu'uhonua means. So this is, since you're all here in Hawaii, I want to share a little bit of Hawaiian words with you. Oh, I had my poo somewhere. I don't know what I do with my poo, but I have a bamboo poo that I blow. Yeah, like the Triton's trumpet. Yeah, poo. Yeah. Again, connection India to Hawaii. Shiva blows a Triton's trumpet. Flower lays. We see India, how about Polynesia and so forth. Yeah. But a poo. Yeah. It's something we blow. It makes sound. Yeah. Now every hill in Hawaii is a pu'u. Yeah. A pu'u, place where lava flowed out of. Yeah. A pimple is a pu'u. Your heart is your pu'uvai, just like Hawaii. That's where your waters flow from, your heart, your pu'uvai. Yeah. Well, honu, you guys know what honu is, yeah? I like to say when you see one, you feel like a honu you. Yeah, that's a turtle, right? Honu turtle, honu earth. Yeah, Hawaiians, like many indigenous people, see this connection between the turtle and the earth. So a pu'u honua is a place where the earth energy flows. As I mentioned, all around the island, there were places where the priest could forgive your sins. If you broke the law, yeah, back in ancient Hawaii, like the Hebrews, they would stone you, club you, kill you. The belief was you break the law and you upset the gods, and they send a hurricane, a tidal wave, a lava flow, lots of things can get you on a volcanic island, yeah. So you break the law and boom, they try and kill you unless you get to the pu'uhonua where the priest could forgive your sins. And I know many of you know this, but I'm also sharing for a bigger audience. Yeah, in Hilo, that was Moku Ola. It's a park. Yeah, people go, they do all kinds of things there now. But that's where I wanted to do ceremony. I wanted to access the energy of that pu'uhonua to do blessings for Hawaii, for the bay, for the island, for the world on that sacred moment. Yeah. But because I wanted to do at that sacred place, I felt it was pono, the right thing to do, yeah, to ask someone in the Hawaiian community for permission. But I didn't know who to ask. Yeah. So I went into prayer meditation, yeah, and I became aware that through Kamehameha schools, yeah, I like to say Kamehameha, the first king of Hawaii, the one that united all of the islands into a single kingdom, his granddaughter, rather than becoming queen, she married the first banker in Hawaii. And they put all their resources towards the education of the Hawaiian children. It's the richest private school in the world. And because of that, some people have taken advantage. But the Hawaiians always really valued education, very intelligent people. You know, when the Europeans arrived, the Hawaiians had the most advanced aquaculture in the world. Yeah. They also had very advanced understanding of the stars. You know, we now realize that the Hawaiians, the Polynesians, were traveling around the world thousands of years before the Vikings ever left land. Very advanced early civilization. Yeah. In 1850, Kamehameha III, yeah, he was educated by the missionaries. He would establish Hawaii as an education nation, over 500 schools in Hawaii. 95% of Hawaiian people could read and write their language. They were the most literate nation in the world. Yeah, always valued intelligence. Well, through Kamehameha schools, I found out that some of the elders, the kapuna, yeah, they were going to share their knowledge with the children. Yeah, so interesting connection in the words. Yeah, there's so many lessons in the Hawaiian language, which I love to share. Mana, like my name, Kai Mana, Kai ocean, Mana energy. We could talk a lot about what that means. That's the sparkle. It's the diamond. It's the energy of the ocean. All that. But Mana is energy. Yeah, and Mana'o is your thoughts, your knowledge. Hawaiians knew your thoughts control your energy. Yeah, we'll talk more about the secret a little bit later. Yeah, the huna. Yeah, and so forth. But the elders were going to share their knowledge with the children up at Volcano. I felt that that would be a good place to go and ask somebody in the community because I didn't know who to ask. Yeah. And I drove up. I was running late. I knocked on the door, and Auntie inside the house, she could feel me outside the house. She goes, "Oh, come, child, you feel good." She could feel my energy outside the house as I arrived. Yeah. And as I walked into the room, all Hawaiian people, the Hawaiian children, the Hawaiian elders, and me, not quite looking so Hawaiian, yeah, but Auntie immediately said, "Outside you white, inside you Hawaiian." Oh, it was good enough for me. I said, "Auntie, I've come to ask your permission." She says, "Shush, child, we've been waiting for you." I don't even know how they knew that was coming, but I've learned they have all kinds of ways of knowing all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So all day I got to sit and learn from the elders the knowledge that they were sharing. Yeah. At the end of the day, I said, "Auntie, I've come to ask your permission. I don't know who to ask, but I want to do ceremony at Moku'ola." She leans back in her in her chair. She holds her heart. She says, "Oh, child, it's so pono. Yeah, it's so good, so right that you ask." And she said, "Most people don't ask. They just do whatever." But she said, "It's so pono when you ask permission." Yeah. But she said, "My father was the one in charge of that island." Yeah. So the fact that you came to me tells me that you're Amakua Gaiju and you have my blessings on all you do. And she turned to Ikaika. Yeah, now he's the big kahuna of the island. Makua passed away. Ikaika now, really nice article on Ikaika. She turned to Ikaika. She said, you go bless what brother's going to do. Yeah. So the Hawaiian, kahuna, really kahuna la'au lapa'au. But now Ikaika is the kahuna nui. And, I really bless Ikaika. He oftentimes will do trainings. You'll see that he's teaching people about the plants, about the ways around. Ikaika is still teaching. Yeah. And with me, it was like maybe 20 years ago. But he came down to the island. We were there, at sunrise, doing blessings, singing, doing yoga, chanting, blessing the bay and everything. And we had like 20 dolphins swimming around the island. And we actually had two whales inside Hilo Bay. Hilo Bay has a big break wall, and inside the break wall was two whales and a bunch of dolphins swimming around the island all morning as we were chanting and doing all this stuff. They came, for our blessings, yeah. Ikaika comes, he arrives with his entourage. They never really travel alone, the group of people coming out across the bridge, cloudy day in Hilo, yeah. The cloud opens up, big sunbeam shines down on the island. I don't know what to call, like a god beam. It's like, oh, here comes the kahuna, yeah. And as I went out to greet him, I said, "Oh, thank you so much for coming." He hardly acknowledged. He looked at me and said, "You got 20 dolphins swimming around the island." I was like, "Yeah, they've been here all morning." And he looked at me and said, "And two whales in Hilo Bay." He said, I never seen two whales in Hilo Bay. His eyes sparkled. He said, "It's good what you do." Okay, enough about me. Aloha, we like to say in Hawaii. Yeah, aloha. Yeah, you know the word. Probably you've heard, every word in Hawaiian, it has at least 7 different meanings, yeah, depending on where you're coming from. So let me also say there are 7 main islands in Hawaii, 8 if we count Koholavi, but nobody ever really lived on Koholavi. It was a sacred island, much like Delphi in Greece, yeah. But 7 major islands, just like the chakra. Yeah, I like to say for the scientists, there are 7 endocrine system organs in the body. I know you guys know, but they release chemical signals. And people that see energy like me, we see them as like wheels or flowers of light blooming. Yeah, each one has a color like the rainbow and a sound associated with it. Yeah, each one has a sound. Ah is the sound of the heart. We say that in every language. Yeah, we see a puppy, a child, we go, ah. I have people come to my ceremony from China, Russia, all over the world. Oh, yeah, we say, ah, yeah, yeah. And always the sound of the hips, like how low can you go? Yeah. When you're in your heart and in your hips, not in your head. When you're in your head, you tend to be someplace else. Yeah, thinking about the past or the future. Oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying? I was thinking. Yeah. But when you're in your body, that's called alo in Hawaiian. Alo. Yeah. Your presence. Yeah. And surrounding the heart is the breath, the ha. So important to the Hawaiian people. Yeah, we talk about it in a moment. So aloha literally means to be present in your breath. We say hello, be present in your breath. Goodbye, be present in your breath. Yeah? Because when you're present in your breath, what you're present to is the gift we've been given, life itself. Yeah, it's the breath that gives us life. Yeah, I like to give a little shout out to the book Breath. I don't know if anybody's read, but it's all the latest science on the breath. Yeah, the yogis are right. Number one indication of lifespan, they find now the volume of the breath. Yeah, so important, the breath. Yeah, we talk about in a moment. In fact, yeah, I'll say, but when the Europeans arrived in Hawaii, everywhere Captain Cook went, they asked the Hawaiians, where do you live? Where do you live? This comes from Serge King. I like this story of the meaning of Hawaii. Everywhere they went, the Hawaiians gave the same answer: Hawaii. Hawaii. That's where we live. I mentioned, we pronounce E, I mean supreme. My name Kai is ocean water. Fresh water, like pu'uvai, yeah, it is the flowing like a river, yeah, stream, yeah. And ha, the breath. So if we read the word from back to front, it's literally the supreme flowing of the breath. That's where we live. We live in the supreme flowing of the breath. It's a good answer, yeah? Yeah. So I like to tell people, when they come to ceremony and I say, you can come to Hawaii, experience aloha, and experience Hawaii, and go back to wherever, and be in that state of aloha, right? That state of Hawaii, you might say. When you remember that you too are living in the supreme flowing of the breath, we come back to the breath. Now, quickest way to get present, yeah, alo, present, is to take a deep breath. Yeah. So let's all do that. Everybody, right hand on your heart, left hand on your belly. This is used in all kinds of different traditions. Yeah. We take 3 deep breaths. Take the first deep inhale, nice deep breath. And as you exhale, make the sound ah. Good. Take another deep breath. And this time, as you exhale, make the sound oh, and feel yourself connected to the chair, to the ground, to the earth. Yeah, settling down. And then come back up to the heart with your next breath. And once again, ah. Maybe feel the sound under your hand, feel the heart vibrating. Yeah, good. More present. Yeah, you feel more present. As I mentioned, when we're present in the breath, what we're present to is the gift we've been given. Course in Miracles says it's all love. Yeah, Creator God gave us this that we might experience its love. Yeah. If people say, well, if that's so true, then why is it such a mess? Yeah. Buddha said, attachment. You want, I want. Now we kill each other lifetime after lifetime for whatever. Yeah, the woman, the place, the power, the experience. All we have to do is study a little bit of history to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm really sorry. We get to clean up the mess our ancestors made. And that's true on so many levels. We'll talk about in a moment. Yeah. But aloha is love. Yeah, because when we're present in the breath, we're present to the gift that we've been given. Yeah, in love, that we may experience creator's love, the love of everything, the love of the trees, of all. We say, I love the reading earlier. We recognize God inside of you. I recognize God inside of me. I recognize God inside of everything. That's one of the first things we learn about. Like, what is God? God is everywhere. God is in everything. There's that divine spark. That's what God is in everything. So when we say, well, I experience God's love, I experience God's love from you, from everything. We experience God's love. Yeah. So we say aloha is love because when we're present in the breath, we're present to love. Now, the other little insight I'll share with aloha, yeah, oha, oha is to greet with joyful affection. Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit of joy. Yeah, um, uh, joy is actually more like hokulea. Yeah, the happy star. Leia is joy, but oha is also joy. It's joy in connecting with one another. Yeah. So we greet with like affection and love. Yeah, we say. But so I want to do a easy chant. Yeah, I'm not like a kumu yeah chant. So we keep it real simple. Yeah, but sound vibration so important. Yeah, in life. So I want to do easy chant. The chant is A, aloha A. Now, if you read it, it's E, the letter E. We say A. Yeah, you'll hear a lot of the Hawaiian songs. They're calling out. A is the sound of the voice. We say, we proclaim, we create with the voice, we're told. Yeah. So we chant E aloha e 4 times. We create love. We send out love, yeah, through the dimensions. I like to say maybe the people over there, they cannot even hear us. But our voice makes ripples in the fabric of creation. We send out love to the past, to our ancestors. We send out love to the future. Through our voice, we create and send out love. Yeah? I do, all of you do. 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 When I chant, I like to feel what it is I'm chanting. In this case, love. Yeah. So I like to think of people I love. And I have to say, first and foremost, that's my mom. Yeah. We all came into the world through a mom. Moms are the real superheroes of life. Yeah. Dads are good too. Don't get me wrong. My dad changed a lot of diapers too. I have stories about how I, peed on his face. I'm sure that happened to every dad. Yeah. But moms really hold it together. Now, my mom and I, we go to different churches. We watch different news. We're very different people. Yeah. But I know my mom loves me, even though I'm so different. Yeah, I'm like the black sheep of the family. I think I have been my mom's challenge to love throughout life. And that's how it works, yeah, in family. The Hawaiian word for family, ohana. Ohana, yeah? Hana is work, like hana maui, yeah? We see that ohana is the people that we work together. Our community, our tribe is also our family, not just brothers and sisters. And Hawaiians would be, oh, mixed kind family, yeah? But we too are ohana because we work together. We work together to make the world a better place. Yeah. Go ahead, nod. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, yeah. So, so we chat. I like to think of Ohana family. My brother, he's here today. Yeah. My sister, my dad, who's on the spirit side. Yeah. Friends, family. Yeah. Loved ones. Also pets. Many of us, we experience so much love from our animals. Yeah, especially dogs. I don't know, there's something like just so unconditional about dogs' love. Yeah. I love they say you take your dog and your lover and you lock them in your trunk for an hour. You open the trunk, your lover is like, what the? And your dog is just happy to see you. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just that unconditional love. Yeah. So we go chant with love. Yeah. We use our voice to create love. I do, you do, I do, you do, I do, you do. Yeah, we do 4 times. Yeah. E aloha e. Right? E aloha e. E aloha e. E aloha e. Ah, good, good, good. I want to do now most powerful healing chant known to man. Yeah, this is the most powerful, most healing chant of any chant that I've learned. And I'm part Cherokee, so I do Native American chants. I do Lakota sweats. We do Native American chants. I teach yoga. We do Hindu chants. I'm learning Chinese chants, all kinds of Hawaiian chants. Yeah, of all the chants I learned, this is the most powerful chant there is. You guys know this chant? I think you do, but I can tell a story. Yeah. When I was at the Berkeley Psychic Institute, I took a class in healing. And as part of the class, we got a spirit guide to work with so that we could start to develop a relationship with a spirit outside of a body. So we could get into good communication with the other spirit, yeah? And so that we didn't have to do the work. We weren't responsible for the healing, yeah? The spirit could work through us. So we create that relationship, yeah? My guide was from Arcturus. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you know Arcturus. Many people who do star being communication, they say the Arcturians are great healers. Well, my guide was Arcturian. And I also mentioned that here because I mentioned earlier Hoku Lea, Moku Island, Hoku Star. And Lea is happy, joyful. Yeah. The Hawaiians call they call Arcturus the happy star. You might have heard of Hoku Lea. Yeah, when I was growing up here in Hawaii, the scientists, They didn't believe that the Hawaiians could have come from Tahiti, like their legend, their chants say. Yeah, it's 3,000 miles of open ocean against the current. Yeah, and we have a purple sweet potato uala here in Hawaii. Yeah, so there was a scientist, anthropologist. He built a canoe called the Kontiki. Yeah, no, there's a Polynesian word, Kontiki. That's actually a name of a Mayan god. And he drifted it from South America and it landed in one of the islands of Polynesia. So when I was in school, they were teaching us that the Hawaiians came from South America, from the Americas, because that's where the currents come from. And the Hawaiians are going, no, 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 that's not where we came from. Our chants say we come from Tahiti. In order to prove it, Herb Kane, a beautiful artist, his work down at the King Kameme Hotel, really beautiful artwork. His books are some of my favorite. He built canoe, right? We call hokulea. Yeah, and they sailed the 3,000 miles from Hawaii down to Tahiti, and then they sailed back. And then right before the lockdown, they traveled all the way around the world. You've probably heard, yeah. Proving something again, scientists thought completely impossible. The early man was traveling around the world far earlier than we thought. I like to say it's a great time to be alive. So many new discoveries. We're placing humanity back even further, further. And it's interesting because we now realize something happened on the planet about 26,000 years ago that changed humanity. The Hawaiians say they arrived from the stars. Yeah. Anyway, Hokulea is the star right above Hawaii. The Hawaiians call it the happy star. And my guide was from Hokulea, our tourist. Yeah. Well, our homework was to get to know our guide. And over the weekend, I was camping at Yosemite under the stars. Everybody went to sleep. I went into meditation. I made connection with my guide. And as my guide came in, he said, I'm going to teach you now most powerful healing technique you'll ever learn. I was like, whoa, okay, this is good. I straightened my spine like I've learned for energy. Yeah. And I was like, okay, give me the goods. Yeah. And he said, laugh. Yeah. Yeah. You know this chant, laughter. Laughter, good medicine. Yeah, we're told. Yeah. I said, why? And he said, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter why we laugh. What matters is that we laugh. Yeah, so important. And as I started to laugh, I could feel the energy inside my body change. Yeah, there was like a tingle in my spine, all up and down my spine, just from laughing. And he said, never forget that. Laughter is good medicine. Auntie Margaret, Kuhuna really, of Lomi Lomi massage, yeah, here in this area, she said it's always the aloha that heals. Yeah, we connect with love to the person, and that love creates a space where they can come back into relationship with spirit and one another. And what they really feel from that love, from that aloha, is the oha, that joyful connection that we share. Yeah. So joy is always the healing, or at least that's my belief. Like I was telling you earlier, joy is my medicine. I think it's real powerful medicine. Yeah. And so, I'm not just making this up. It's the healing power, yeah, of the Hawaiian style belly laugh. Yeah, I learned this from Harry, like first and foremost, big Hawaii. Like I know Harry's been around. Yeah, people would ask the most serious questions. He would laugh and it would just shift the energy. And then, it was really profound because he would answer the question from where the question came from, not from where the person was asking the question. Like they're asking about this thing over here, and Harry would answer like where the question came from. And most people were like, I don't think he heard the question. And I was like, no, no. Harry knew what they were really asking. Yeah, the question, the confusion was coming from something deeper, and Harry would address that. So amazing. Yeah. So I'm also a laughter yoga instructor. I'm a professional. When the lava went through Puna, Pele said, go, go. I'll be here when you get back. And I went down to the Philippines. I visited my dear brother friend. He actually passed away from COVID. So I'm really so happy that I went down and got to see him one last time. Yeah. I went to the Philippines with him, and then we went over to Cambodia. Yeah. I went to Angkor Wat. My Amakua told me to put crystals all over the temples. Yeah, those are the ones that have the trees growing out of it. And I used to have a card that said tree yogi. Yeah, because I love the trees. And I went and activated those temples. And I saw the temple go from 2 dimension to 3 dimension once I activated with the crystals. And then I went over to Thailand, and I ended up at Kopangan. It's a island off of Thailand, yeah. World famous for its full moon parties. which was kind of fun. It's more like a spring break. But because of that, it gets really good musicians. And I was at an Osho retreat center. I don't know if you've heard of Osho, yeah, but the guru, the Tantra guru that came to America and revolutionized. There's a special on Netflix. I think it's called Open Country or something, New Country. It's funny because when I got to Thailand, I got food poisoning at the airport, and so I was stuck in my hotel room, and all I could do was watch this show about Osho. And then I ended up at an Osho retreat center, yeah. And what I really loved is when we did the Osho stuff, which I found most profound, we wore blindfolds. So instead of being, oh, like, what is she doing? What is he doing? We were so in our own space and so profound, the work that Osho brought through. Yeah. But while I was there doing the ecstatic dance and yoga and breath work and crystal bowls, sound meditations, I became a laughter yoga instructor. Yeah. So I teach hatha yoga, really good for the body, for the breath. Yeah. But I think haha yoga, yeah, or laughter yoga, even higher. Yeah. In laughter yoga, we laugh for 1 hour. You get so high. We just laugh about all kinds of stuff. One is like, take your bill and look at your bill and laugh at it. And it really shifts the energy. Next time you get a bill, you just change the energy. Yeah. So important. I like to say, I know my time is getting close now. Yeah, when I do the Ho'oponopono ceremonies, yeah, so Ho'o means to do and Pono is good. Ho'opono is all the stuff that we do to be better ourselves. Maybe exercise, what we eat, maybe breathing, maybe laugh. But Ho'oponopono is conflict resolution, how we make peace between ourselves. I like to say it's good for you, good for me. Yeah, Pono. In the West, we say win-win. Yeah. But that's because we're so competitive. Yeah. But Ho'oponopono is a way of creating peace. Yeah. And we could talk about the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is not even in the book. Yeah, the first book written by Auntie Morna did not have the Ho'oponopono prayer. Maybe you know the prayer. Near the end of her life, Auntie said, you know what, let me make this real simple. Everything happens to you for a reason. Something you did in this life or past life, maybe a thought you had, something created every experience you're having. I didn't get to study with Auntie, but I did get to study with her student, Dr. Len. And when I studied with him, the main thing he stressed is 100% responsibility for everything that happens to us in life. And I always share with people that I'm still working on that because there's things happen. I don't know why it happened that way. It's not the way I want it to happen. But what I learned from Dr. Len was a way they call the Ho'oponopono prayer. Yeah, 4 statements. Like I say, it's not in the book. Yeah, she developed it later. Most people, that's all they think Ho'oponopono is. Ho'oponopono is so much. I've had over 20 teachers in Ho'oponopono. Everybody taught me something different. Harry said it's because every island had different Ho'oponopono. Some families had different Ho'oponopono. But the Ho'oponopono prayer is so powerful, taking responsibility. We say, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. So what Auntie realizes first, we have to shift the energy inside ourselves. It's really the story that we have to change. As human beings, we're storytellers. I've shared a couple with you today. Yeah, and stories work on multiple levels. Yeah, you remember the thing that was important for you to remember. You get what you get. But as storytellers, we oftentimes also tell stories about what happened to us. And I always say some of those stories is just shit. It's weird, literally, yeah? Some of us are kind of constipated. Yeah, you know what I mean? We have shit we can't let go of. Yeah? We need to let go. Every day at sunset, the Hawaiians like to do 2 things. Yeah? Every day at sunset, let go of the bad. Give thanks for the good. Yeah? Promise. Every day. Good and bad. Focus on the bad. Feel bad. Focus on the good. Feel good. It's not rocket science. But it's up to you. Kahuna say that's your power. Your focus. So powerful focus. Focus on good, feel good. Focus on bad, feel bad. People say, well, like the secret, am I just supposed to ignore all the bad in the world? No. Focus on solution. Yeah, you see problem, focus on solution. Don't focus on the problem. Focus on the solution. This is true in anything in life. But I don't know how perfect. I always like to remind you that spirit always figures out how. Our role as human beings is to figure out what it is we want. I'm always amazed when I meet people that say, I don't know what I want. Like a boat on the ocean doesn't know where it's going. just drifting this way. But once we know we can use the winds like the Hawaiians did, direct with the stars and get to our destination. Pretty amazing when you think about what they did. Yeah, that and so much more. Yeah. So I want to end with laughter. Now, as I mentioned earlier, in laughter yoga, we do for 1 hour. Don't worry, we're not going to do 1 hour, but I want to do for 1 minute if it's okay. Yeah. Can somebody set their alarm for 1 minute? My phone is being used. My brother is taping. Yeah. So can somebody get their phone out and we tape 1 minute? Now, when we laugh, we're going to be using the diaphragm. Yeah. The diaphragm, I like to say, is the second most important muscle in the body. Heart, most important. Many of us, we exercise the heart, yeah, but we don't so much exercise the diaphragm. Deep diaphragmatic breath, like I said, one of the most important things for longevity. I was actually the night nurse of the longest living paraplegic in the world. And the way he stayed alive for a long time is every night he did the neti pot to clear his sinuses. And then he exercised the breath. That's what kept him alive. Yeah, the breath. So we're going to exercise the diaphragm. The breath book talks about how over the recent time, because many of us have become shallow chest breathers, our skull has changed shape over the last several hundred years. But also that deep diaphragmatic breath is so important. Many of us in the West were shallow breathers. Yeah, it's a fight or flight. Keeps us in a place of anxiety all the time, that shallow chest breath. You know, as a yoga instructor, I have people that come to class. They say the doctor wants me to do yoga, but I can't move. I can't do the poses. I just have them lay with their hands on their belly and breathe deep belly breath. Yeah, for 1 hour, the whole class. I highly recommend 5, 10 minutes a day. One of the best things you can do for your health. Everybody can do it. Everybody, even if you cannot move, you're paraplegic. Everybody can practice deep breathing into the belly. That deep belly breath communicates to the body that we're safe. It drops us out of the fight or flight into that peaceful place. Yeah. They come to me a month or two later. They say, Doctor says it's a miracle. The cancer is gone. It's not a miracle. It's how the body works. When we breathe deeply into the belly, we communicate to the body that we're safe, that it's good to be alive. Yeah, and the body naturally heals itself. Yeah. So I want to exercise the diaphragm with ha, 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 ha. Now, again, if you like, you can think of something funny. If you like, you can think of me being silly up here. Yeah, joy is medicine and so forth. But if you can, for 1 minute, keep making ha, 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 ha sound. Yeah, we exercise the diaphragm. Yeah. Any questions? Okay, good. Are you ready? Okay, you count us off and then watch, and at 30 seconds, say halfway. Okay? All right. Here we go. Okay. How you feel? Feel different, yeah? Feel different. Totally different. 1 minute to feel totally different. You know, recently I had somebody come to the ceremony. He said his great grandmother gathered everybody around her deathbed. And she said the secret to long life, never go to bed mad. So brilliant, you know. We tend to think that our thoughts is something just stays inside our head, but every thought is a chemical reaction in the body. Chinese medicine looks at how anger goes inside the liver, worry in the spleen, fear in the kidneys, takes its toll on our emotions. Never go to bed mad, sad, angry, whatever. If you need, laughter is contagious. I didn't mention that earlier, but like yawning, when you see somebody laughing, you start laughing naturally. One of the most brilliant things I think on YouTube is Bodhisattva on the subway. People on YouTube, go check it out. Bodhisattva on the subway. It's hilarious. Everybody, going to work so serious. Children laugh about 300 times a day. Adults, you know how long it takes us to laugh 300 times on average? About 3 months. Everybody's so serious going to work, yeah, on the subway. And then some guy just walks on and starts laughing. And by the end of the video, everybody's laughing and they're falling on top. Yeah, that's one of the things. And I'll just kind of end with this. Like we in Hawaii, we're familiar with like luau's and gatherings and family events. Ohana, as I mentioned, so important to Hawaiian culture and every culture. And that's one of the things that we love about the holidays. We get together with family and we eat and we laugh. Yeah, we laugh about like what we did in the past. Like last year, my mom lost her phone. It was in the fridge. We're going to be laughing about that for a long time. Yeah. But that's what we get to share as human beings is laughter. Mediators, diplomats, they try and get both sides to laugh. Next time you find yourself difficult situations, see if you can bring humor to it. Like I said, joy. Shift that worry, yeah, into like this joyful expectation. Yeah. Mahalo. Yeah. I want to end with mahalo. Yeah. Ma is the feminine. Alo, we already talked about. Yeah. To be present. Yeah. So mahalo is literally to be present to what it is we're receiving. And when we're present, it fills us with gratitude. Every day, let go of the bad. I promise every day they'll be bad. Just let it go. I always feel like, oh, that's behind me now. I don't know why that happened, but it's behind me. I don't want to take that till tomorrow and like be in the middle of that again tomorrow. It's done. Pow. We say in Hawaii, it's done. And every day, give thanks. Yeah, mahalo. It's a good practice. Yeah. Write down in a journal 3 things every day that you're grateful for. If you're in relationship, I always encourage one of the ways to keep that fire going, is every day share 3 things you really appreciate about the other person. And you can do that in every relationship. Promise, if you do that, the relationship gets better. Mahalo. Bye.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to have a terrible time not doing this again after all that. So I don't know.
Never say never. Never's a long
I
time.
appreciate that, or if I'm kind of aggravated because I had this big thing built up about how terrible this was, and all of a sudden I'm not doing that. I'm going to laugh about it. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. Now we want to let everybody know about our services and doing announcements. Would you like to give us any announcement that you have?
Sure. So I mentioned earlier, I teach yoga. I do a Saturday morning class. So every morning at Hunnell's, the beach right next to town. I know you guys, a lot of you are up here, but down in town, every morning there's yoga on the beach. It's such a great place to do yoga. I've been teaching yoga for over 10, 15 years now. And I don't even teach in studios anymore. Like I would maybe teach out here, but yoga is all about the breath. And I love being outside with the trees and everything. So I teach Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and it's a really wonderful, gentle, easy hatha yoga practice. All ages. It's mostly older ladies that come. They've been coming for like 5 or 10 years, and they've had so many healings from their different, things from the easy, simple yoga. And then the other thing I do, the Ho'oponopono, every Monday and Friday, I do a ceremony. It's actually an experience on Airbnb. So you can sign up on Airbnb, or if you're interested, you can get my number and contact me. I do kama'ainas, locals, yeah, half price, yeah. And you get a bowl, yeah. I give everybody a bowl because we call it the bowl of light ceremony that I don't have time to talk about too much about, but it's a really wonderful, powerful, powerful ceremony. So if you're interested, I share some, about aloha. We laugh, so you're already kind of warmed up, but we do more, yeah.
I appreciate that. And we do need to, speaking of bowls,
And gratitude.
Pasha has our offertory bowl. And if we could have some music while we do this. And we're going to pass the koa bowl, and we do need to support ourselves. We have light and all sorts of things a few bills that I guess we could laugh at, but we also need to fulfill the bowl also.
All right, I got one more song for y'all today. This one's a tune by Olamana. It's called Ku'uhome o Kahalu, My Sweet Home Kahalu. I remember days when we were younger. I used to catch opu in the mountain stream. Round the Koholau hills we ride on. So long ago it seems it was a dream. Last night I dreamt I was returning. My heart called out to you, and I pray you'll take me as you find me. Meke aloha kuhome o kahalu. And I remember days when we were wiser, when the world seemed small enough for dreams. And you have lingered there, my sister. But I no longer can, it seems. Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart had called out to you. And I pray you'll take me as you find me. Eke aloha kuhome o kahalu. Change is a strange thing, it cannot be denied. It can help you find yourself or make you lose your pride. Move with it slowly as on the road to go. Please don't hold on to me, we all must go alone. And I remember days when we were smiling, when we laughed and sang the whole night long. And I will greet you as I find you, with the sharing of a brand new song. Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart it called out to you. And I pray you'll take me as you find me. Ke aloha kuhome o kahalu. Ke aloha kuhome o kahalu. All right. Mahalo. Thank you so much for having me play music for y'all today, and really enjoyed this talk you did, Kaimana. All right.
Thank you. And that's Jeff Tree, and he is available for any event that is coming up that you might need some music. You have seen how great he is, so now you know you can rely on him. Every Sunday we do have services at 10, and it's also being streamed live, and there's a YouTube link after 12 on Monday. I think Pasha has it ready if you would like to. Oh, okay.
It might have, it might need editing, but in its
It's still
raw form,
okay. So Pasha says you can go home and watch this service again this afternoon. You don't have to wait. And we also have every month we have a produce giveaway on the last Sunday and on the first Sunday of the month, which we had this morning with Aaron S. The crystal bowls at 8:30. So the next time it will be on October the 2nd. Right now we're doing it once a month, but we hope to be able to get back to the weekly crystal bowls. Next Sunday is going to be Dreaming Bear, and he's going to be doing the program and the music, and he's stating that it's romancing inspiration. On the 18th, we have Lindsay Roth, from memes to dreams, dream work to cultivate insight, intuition, and instinct. On the 25th, it's going to be our New Thought birthday, which is 50 plus 51 because it was 50 last year and the pandemic put it off until this year. So we have a time to remember to celebrate. We're going to have gluten-free birthday cake by Lisa Brown and music by Viboda. On Mondays, we have Tai Chi from 5 to 6 here on the Lanai, but we're not having it in the month of September because Janan is off island. But so I hope that we all are going to be coming. It's really fantastic, the Tai Chi that he's a Tai Chi master, so he does a very good class. If anybody wants to volunteer and be a greeter or work to set up, clean up, we need help with tech, and we appreciate Jeff, and Kai also helps us, and Pomai. So we appreciate all of you. We wouldn't be able to do the streaming if we didn't have you all helping. We need workshop facilitators or facilitators right here so that I won't feel quite so nervous if other people are doing it. We need help with our logistics of a workshop event, and the person does get free admission. Anybody that would like to help plan for our 50th Jubilee activities, we're going to have an online auction. So just speak to a board member or get on the board, onto our website and click reply to the newsletter, and you can send a message to us. Does anybody else have any announcements? Pasha.
About lunch. So Kaimana's chosen to go to the Chinese restaurant, Ono Home Kitchen. How many people would like to join that lunch party after service today? So we can let them know what size table we need. Okay, one. The one right here at Pulani Terrace. Yeah. Yeah, it's under, it changed management during the pandemic. Most people think it's better than it once was. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kai, of course. Okay, I think did you count?
No, I didn't get to see it.
Okay, could you put? Oh yeah, 8's a good number. Let's say 8. It is like an infinity sign. Yeah. Yeah.
The reason I chose the Chinese food, not just because it's close by, but my dad and I used to always do Chinese buffets. So when I eat Chinese food is a wonderful way for me to connect with my dad. And my brother's just moved in with me. We're sharing a house for the next couple of months.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
felt it'd be really kind of nice to have Chinese food with my dad.
Did you take your mic off?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just summarize for the people that are watching live stream. So it's kind of like this something wonderful that Kaimana and his brother shared with their father. So he'll be with us in spirit. Yeah, Chinese food. Oh, good. Okay. And the other thing I wanted to share is just to add on related to the last Sunday that Margie talked about when we're celebrating our New Thought birthdays. That one thing that we typically do on those occasions, why we call it our birthday, is the the papers of incorporation of the first of our sort of parent church that was established in 1971. We still have a copy of that, and it was signed in late September 1971. I think it might have been the 18th or 19th, but we're going to pretty close within a week. So one thing we typically do then is welcome new members because we are a membership organization. And so this is a great time if you feel an affinity for New Thought, but you haven't signed on the dotted line. These are the membership forms, and they have a list of 10 affirmative statements that were agreed upon by the International New Thought Organization. But it's not like you have to, embrace everyone. But if you look them over and feel like, oh yeah, that kind of rings true for me, that's just helps you kind of get a sense of is this an appropriate thing for me to do. But also, if you just have attended a few times and it feels good, you can probably go by that too. And you just fill in the contact information and add your signature, and then we welcome you in the ceremonial way on this day in September. And there's no membership dues. It's in a certain way, it doesn't change anything, but yet it changes something in consciousness. You're just coming into a closer relationship with your ohana here. So there's a picture of some of the past presidents from our long history at the east end of the long table. And there are blank forms like this sitting on the table. If you decide to do it, you can just fill it out right away and leave it under the talking stick. And if you're watching by live stream, you can find there's a membership section on our website. And if you're clever, you may be able to fill it out online. If you aren't, you can request one be sent to you by email, fill it out and photograph or scan it. We'll be happy to acknowledge you even if you can't be here in person. At least a dozen people during the time of the pandemic have in fact joined New Thought, including some people I see here this morning. And you didn't get your lay and certificate. So if any of you can come on that day, we will make up for that omission. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Pasha. And we all thank Pasha because I don't think we would be functioning without her. So we appreciate that. Two things I didn't mention earlier. We do have free childcare, but we would like to have anyone who wishes to have this to get in touch with us by Friday. And if you are new and would like to or to sign up, we do have a guest book if you would like to sign, and you can get on our website. We do have a weekly newsletter that we put out. Now we're going to stand in a circle. We're not going to hold hands yet, and we do sing our Aloha song, which is up here, and we'd like to have someone who knows. There may be somebody here who knows how to sing, which is not me, but let's all stand and sing.
I don't know that we're holding hands, so don't need to like physically hold hands, but like maybe cosmically or energetically. But you know what I'd love to ask, brother? Can you come up so that we make an energetic circle? Yeah, yeah. There's something powerful about a circle. Yeah. So I guess I'll start us off. E Hawaii e ukone hanawe. Kuome kuline. Oli no aina pono lani au. E Hawaii, aloha e haoli nao pio Hawaii ne oli oli Maina he o aho makani a kanae. Mau ke aloha no Hawaii. E haoli nao pio Hawaii ne oli oli Maina he ahe makani ne pamaine. Mau ke aloha, aloha vai. Mau ke aloha, aloha vai. E mahalo e.